No, it's I do. It's just streamlining everything with sure things on it. Yeah, exactly. It's not hard. Sent out to the it's really tight.
You have the clicker there.
Okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get going so we have enough time to have the AI session. As a reminder, please disconnect from the Wi-Fi, put your phones on silent, and do not block the camera. Let's see, bucket fills. Do we have any bucket fills today?
Okay, yes.
Kathy?
So I was about 2.5 weeks ago. I was sick with COVID, first time with that one, and Ashley was so sweet. So Debbie Giametti told her, and she asked her. You were probably involved with this too, but anyway, she brought over either you or she did Ashley did a bag of groceries. And it's like, it was just so nice. I could hardly get off the couch right then. It was like, I'm so thankful for it. Sweet. I mean, who would ever want to leave a company like this, if you think about it, right? Where people are just nice.
So Ashley, if you're watching,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Kathy. Anybody else? No? Okay, next. Property pitches. What do we have today?
That one.
Yeah, go for it.
Now it's going to be on the market Monday. Is it okay? Is it okay? Okay. So I'll show pictures next week, but it's really cute. It's a normal Heights house for about 965 square feet. Completely perfect. I mean, everything's been done. Heating and cooling, roof. It's just really charming. Fireplace. It's going to be right under 1,000 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but the kitchen and baths were just done. It's not just a plain old white. It's got more character than that. And so it's going to be about $965 in Normal Heights. Coming up, maybe next week I'll have pictures of it up.
Thank you, Kathy. Anybody else?
So I have a coming soon. It's a condo in Fashion Valley, the Bluffs. We have tenants right now that we are serving the formal 60-day notice, so it probably wouldn't come on. But as you know, within the market center, we may be able to work something out ahead of time. Anyway, it's a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath, 1,113 square feet. It's got 2 parking spots, lots of upgrades, including a fully renovated kitchen, partially renovated bathroom, huge patio that she also had repainted. It's just really a nice unit, and probably going to sell around $653 or so. And the awesome part is that it's VA assumable at 4.710. So if you have any VA buyers, bring them forward to me and let's get a deal done.
And don't forget, if you have a chance after the meeting, upload this information as well to the Facebook group, just for those agents who weren't present or not present today. Anybody else with a property pitch? That's a great one, guys. Okay, next. Access to the building. As a reminder, we have key cards for your use in case you're going to be coming in with your clients. And we will be closed this upcoming Friday. So if you do plan to be here on Friday or Saturday, just come see me or Ari and we'll give you a key card for the weekend, a loaner card. Okay. Welcome. Do you guys remember Pam? She was here last week. She ended up joining us the following day. So if you see her coming back again, just choose yourself if you haven't yet. But yeah, Pam is part of the market center now.
Must have been because she liked the risk management person.
Thank you. Thank you, Mimi, for not scaring her away. Office is closed on Friday, as I mentioned at the beginning. And then Mondays with Mark will be on Zoom as usual. And then we have Sarah, 6 figures in 6 months. Make sure you scan that QR code if you haven't yet. We're not gonna play the video. This is the same one we had last week, but we wanted to have the QR codes for you guys on the TV. Sign up for day 1 if you can. For step 1, it's for free. And then the rest of the sessions will be here at the Market Center. We will be providing you with lunch on every session. It's 6 sessions. They will be only on Tuesdays. And the coach that we have coming in for us, I sent you a video just to give you an intro as well. Check out the video. And we have a banner on the outside if you guys didn't see it on the way in. Just to remind you that we have bowl coming up, okay? And then we have the class working with seniors. Judy's here. She'll be teaching it. Mark your calendars. And we're going to have it here at the Market Center from 2:30 to 4 on July 16th. July 16th, we expect it to be very packed. So do plan to be here because we're going to have a lot of stuff for you guys.
Margaret's got steak as well.
Yes.
me?
Noble, do you want to come to the front?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. If you can see me, yes. But my name's Noble, and I work with Esper Partners. I'm sure all y'all know that. But I would love. We're doing a CapCut class, and I want you guys to do a poll on when it needs to be. It's on the Facebook page. So I didn't know the times that would work best for y'all. So if you guys could do that, I would love that. Thank you. Agent Spotlight. Marvin has done an amazing job closing a couple in June and July that we want to congratulate him on. And it's phenomenal for this type of market. So congratulations, Marvin. So the data, we pulled some data and we are seeing the days on market being a little high right now, on the average of 50 and 46 being higher than the median of 32. So this is just something we want to talk. Jacqueline's trying to do a couple things and talking to your clients about what the list price should be. It's a big deal right now based on how things are sitting right now. So having that conversation with your client on what the prices should look like is a big deal. Jacqueline, I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
I would just add in, this is information that if you guys need us to pull something like this, as you're having Christina or Nicole pull a net sheet, we're happy to help pull some of this market data. I know when you guys are preparing for going into a listing appointment, there's a lot going on. So let us know. We always have access to get into SDMLS and just pull this data. And then on the next slide, I wanted to show you one other tool that you guys all have access to that I don't know that you all even know that it's there. But on your KW site, you can pull a list of price reductions in a certain city. So I did one just as an example. That QR code takes you to the one I pulled from my KW site. So if you go to your KW website, and in the search bar that's up there at the very top, put in, for this one I put in El Cajon, and then there's a filter button. That's what the yellow arrow is pointing to. If you click on that filter button and you scroll down to the very bottom, there's this little thing that's circled here that says price reduced, and you toggle that on. What that will do is now it's going to show you every property in El Cajon that's had a price reduction. And then now on your website, you go grab this URL, and that's how I got the QR code. So you can take that URL and say you're going to a listing appointment in El Cajon and say, hey, I want to show you the state of the market right now. This is where we are. This is how many homes. I mean, there was a list that I was scrolling through. There's a lot of price reductions right now. And so having that conversation up front can often be helpful so that you're having that conversation before you even sign the agreement instead of having to go in and have what can be a tough conversation 14 days in and say, hey, we're doing all the things, but homes right now are on the market a little bit. Is there a question on that?
Yeah, I have a question. You said our KW site, not command, right?
Correct. This is your KW website. So this is going in an open browser. Mine happens to be jacquelinefram.kw.com. I went into my website just as if I was someone out in the public, and I toggled this. And then I used that as my price reductions list. This is also something that if you have buyers, you can also use this list if you want to send it to your clients. A lot of times clients, even if we give them other tools, they're just on that website that starts with Z, and they're seeing the new things coming on. this is a nice way to get them into looking at properties that may have had a price reduction. So you can use it for your buyer or your seller clients.
Thank you.
Come see us in Escrow Partners. Come
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
My time is up.
Great job.
So there was an update from SCMLS in regards to coming soon. Did anybody get an email from SCMLS about that? You did when?
I think yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay.
Day before.
And it was about the changes in coming soon? Okay, I didn't see it.
Was that from you? I did receive something,
You
but I
got
wasn't
something
sure
from
if it was
me,
from
but
you.
I'm talking
Oh.
about from SCMLS.
I believe that I did.
Okay, can you forward that to me? Because I didn't see anything. I even looked at all my email. Unless you're just thinking of what I sent you. The only reason I found out was
Okay.
because an agent of ours has a listing and coming soon, and he got an email from them saying what the changes are. So there are significant changes, and this is in response to NAR's new delayed right marketing change that they made a couple of weeks ago. So that's STMLS, and then there's CRMLS. I don't know what changes they're going to make yet, so we'll see. But basically, coming soon now is different. It's not going to convert automatically
To Zillow.
convert to an active after 21 days. It won't be IDX out to Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, all those websites. You can have it in there as long as you want. They're showable by appointment from broker to broker. So the other brokers, outside broker, can see it in MLS, but outside public can't see it. So you can still show it.
But we can show it to other brokers outside of our brokerage?
Yes. You can schedule showing through showing services. You can't do open houses. You can't do on-site public events until it's changed to active. And by the way, I sent out an email with all this yesterday, so please read it. All those instructions are in there. It's a one-time MLS status per property. In other words, once you put it in coming soon, you can't go back and put it again in coming soon. And you can't advertise on yard signs, flyers, social media, but it will not be distributed through the MLS. And then the days on market resets after the listing reaches active status. And price history tracking clears after it reaches active status. Offers can be presented on coming soon, but once you do that, then you have to put it into pending. You bypass active status. I know it's all confusing. And then there's a new appendix F that they say you have to have the seller sign if you're going to put it into coming soon. So this is a brand new document. That was emailed to you guys yesterday. You need help, you can call the rules department or email them rules@stmls.com. Okay? And then finally, so we all know the BRB is limited to how many months?
3.
3. So if you take a BRBC and it starts today, July 2nd, when should it technically end?
October 2nd.
October what?
2nd.
Okay, good. How come people can't figure out months? I don't know why people are still filling out BRBCs with longer than 3 months. If it's longer than 3 months, it makes it
Invalid.
Invalid
Invalid?
and unenforceable. It's no good. So if you've done a BRBC that's longer than 3 months,
You don't
go
get
fix
paid.
it, please. And you don't get paid. That's it.
Thank you.
Gosh, baby. We're gonna move on to the best part of the meeting. I wanted to take the time.
That was the best part.
I wanted to take the time to thank you all for coming out today. We would have normally had it on Zoom, but we wanted to try something different. I also wanted to give Karina a shout out for just helping us bring more value for you guys. And if you haven't yet, please comment on Facebook to Israel. He's the one who sponsored today's lunch. So just take a moment just to give him a shout out. He's our in-house preferred vendor. Corinne, you want to come to the front to give an intro?
Yes.
Or we can
yes,
get you on camera.
Okay, hi Kristen. Okay, I'm so excited to introduce to you Kristen Carter, and she is going to be teaching us, utilizing ChatGPT to streamline your business operations. Kristen Carter is a full-time agent in Phoenix, Arizona, an AI educator with over 7 years in the industry and 2 years coaching agents and admin on how to leverage ChatGPT and text tools for smarter systems and standout service. She's been featured on top podcasts and spoke at KW MegaCamp 2024, helping professionals turn overwhelm into opportunity with practical people-first AI strategies. Help me to welcome Kristen, please.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I am so excited to be here. This is so fun. And I love that I can see all your faces too. A lot of the times when I'm presenting for team meetings, I literally don't get to see who I'm talking to. So this is even better. Is my sound okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So as Karina said, I am a full-time agent in the Phoenix, Arizona market. I've been licensed for 8 years on the same team the entire time. And I have a passion for technology and helping business owners streamline their business using the tech tools we have available to us. AI has been a game changer. It's kind of crazy. We've had 2 years of ChatGPT, and it went from being just this toy that we could play with to being something pretty powerful that can actually help you in your day-to-day business. So, by a show of hands, who is already utilizing ChatGPT daily? Perfect. Okay, I love it. This is fantastic. So, I really love making these interactive. I have all sorts of tips and tricks about ChatGPT and AI. We can talk all different areas of it, but I would rather know what exactly you guys want to see and do in your business with it. So if I could have a couple of ideas, I'm going to write them down and make sure I touch on those. What is something that y'all are struggling with that you hope maybe AI can help?
I think many of us don't know what AI can do, so it's kind of difficult maybe for some to identify exactly what, but I believe for me, I was really attracted to the organization part of it. And I remember you teaching about how we can put things in like different folders and like, anyway, yes, yeah.
So how to organize your actual ChatGPT as well as how to use it to help you organize your business?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Perfect. That's a big topic. That's definitely something that a lot of people are asking for. So awesome. That's what I have prepped. So even better.
And I think we have.
I'm not one for go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think we have mostly solo agents here. Is that right? Or do we have teams?
Okay.
Admins of teams. Yeah, I think it's mostly solo agents. Guys? Yeah.
So the solo agents? Perfect.
Okay.
Y'all are my favorite. That'll be way fun. Okay. So
and I think lead generation too, Kristen. I know Robert, our broker, had a class this morning. He touched on lead generation with the disc, and I know you had a topic like that too. So maybe some weren't able to be present this morning, but does that sound good for you guys? Okay. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. This is perfect. So for solo agents, anything that we can do to streamline your timing and give you back some of your minutes to hours in the day, I know is going to be key, because then you can either use that for additional lead generation, building your business, or just to have time off. So yeah, I'm totally down for this. This sounds great. Perfect. I'm not one for big slideshows or anything like that, so I'm just going to talk, and I know this is being recorded, so you guys can watch it back later. I will need screen sharing, so let me just make sure. Yep, okay, I have access to that, so we're good. So I've been teaching ChatGPT and AI for a little over 2 years. I started with it just kind of messing around and seeing what it was. I had no idea what was coming from it, and I really didn't know if it was just going to be a fad. So I didn't use it for my business for the first probably 6 to 8 months of playing with ChatGPT. Then one day I realized, I was like, oh, I'm having a hard time formulating this email. I need to write this email to my client. I'm kind of struggling. I don't find the words that I want. I wonder if ChatGPT could help me. And so I punched in, following the rules of Gary Keller and the MREA, what is an email that I could write to my client talking about the state of the market and a potential price reduction. This was the beginning of things starting to be a little wonky in Phoenix. And so I wanted to get ahead of it and have those tools to myself. And so that was my first conversation with ChatGPT that was business related. And it wrote me a great email. It didn't sound like me at all. It totally sounded like a robot wrote it. But it put a light bulb on and showed me that this has potential. So from there, a couple friends and I got together and we started a Facebook group, and it was our mastermind group for how we were all using ChatGPT and whether we could use it for business or whatever. Fast forward 2 years, the group now has 11,000 members in it. I would absolutely love to invite any and all of you to join it. Corrine, I don't know if you have access to the chat. Could you put that link in there?
I sure can. I'm not sure if I do or not, actually, but if I can just get that from you, I can definitely
If not,
send it
I
out.
can put it at the end too. But the group is on Facebook, and it's ChatGPT and AI Mastermind for Real Estate. So feel free to join it. We'd love to have you. But we started in there, and that's kind of where a lot of these conversations really just came about naturally. And there was a group of us just really playing, and because we were the first, we kind of were becoming the experts. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's nobody who's an actual expert on AI in real estate more than the agents using it. So don't feel like you're behind the curve if you're just getting started, and whatever use you're using it for right now is great. And anything more that you can do with it is also great. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit of ChatGPT, how to set it up, some things that you may not have set up because you've just been self-teaching. And so show you a couple tips and tricks for that. And then we'll launch into how to use it for organization, how to use it for client communication and emails, and then some other ways that I know agents are using it to try and save time. How much time do we have for this training, Karina?
So I put 2:45, but do we have a little bit? Do we have a little bit more time?
Perfect.
Just closing at 2:30.
Closing at 2:30.
Closing at 2:30?
Yes.
Got it. Can do. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I knew how much time I had. So, opening my screen for my ChatGPT, and I'm going to start a new chat. So, when you're in your ChatGPT, if you have the free plan, it may look a little different. This is the paid plan. I have the $20 a month plan. There is a higher plan available. It's $200 a month. I haven't met a real estate agent yet that needs that. That is definitely geared more towards developers, coders, people in tech industries who need the power behind what ChatGPT can do. And the ability to do hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations a month. Most real estate agents can get by with just the middle plan of $20 a month. The big thing that I noticed that a lot of agents miss is in the settings. So this sounds really silly and super beginning, but if you go to your ChatGPT and you have this little button in the corner, this is where you can do all your customization. It's where you can change your settings, you can personalize, and you can tell ChatGPT who you are, what you do, and how it should talk back to you. You can also adjust your memory settings from here as well. So when I go into customize ChatGPT, it tells me, okay, what should it call me? So I just have it calling me by my name. I know other people use nicknames. That works too. What industry am I in? So that's an easy one to answer. And then what traits should ChatGPT have? So for me, I don't want my ChatGPT to always agree with me. I don't want it to be a yes man, and I don't want it to sound like a robot. So I have told it to respond friendly, professional, tell it like it is, and don't sugarcoat your responses. You could be witty, upbeat, and warm, because I know I'm that way, and so some of these responses that it'll give me, I can just copy and paste if it has my tone. I also want responses to be professional yet conversational and tailored to my role. And so that's when I gave it a little more information about who I am and why it's responding the way it is. If you aren't sure what to put in this box, these little buttons down here are great. Click one, see what it says. Have a conversation with ChatGPT, see if you like it. If you don't, come back in here and edit and change until you do. That's the nice part about it, is that you can update this as often as you'd like, and any new chat you start will follow those instructions. The old chats, though, will follow the old instructions that it opened with. So if you make these changes, don't be surprised if an old chat doesn't follow them. Additionally, down here in anything else, you have a lot of characters that you can fill and put all sorts of things. So I've told ChatGPT a whole lot about me and my business and what I use ChatGPT for. So that way when I'm asking it questions or having it do things for me, it has context of what lens to focus it on. Because ChatGPT is, I'm not going to say all-knowing. It's not. It's been trained on a lot of information. Because it has a lot of information to pull from, I like to give it context so that it matches what I'm actually asking it to do and answers accordingly. So this is a really good way to do that in your customization. If you really are lost and you're like, I have no idea what to put in here, start a new chat and tell it, I want to customize my ChatGPT instructions. Ask me questions that I can answer, and then you can formulate my instructions to copy, paste. That's it. And if I do this, it's now going to ask me a whole bunch of stuff about me and what I might use ChatGPT for. And then after I answer these, it's going to condense it down, and then I can copy paste that right into my custom instructions. So this is a great way to really brainstorm and figure out what you want it to say. Additionally, I know a lot of people talk about the memory function, so we're going to talk about that too. So here's the thing with memory. Memory is great if you're using ChatGPT strictly for one type of business, one purpose. If you're using ChatGPT for a little bit of everything, your memory is going to cross into new threads, and it's going to start to get murky and gray. So just be aware that if you like it to store the memories, you may have some crossover of things if you go off topic. So, for example, I have my memory turned off because I use my ChatGPT for my real estate business. I use my ChatGPT for my AI coaching. I also use my ChatGPT for kids stuff and family stuff and meal prep and D&D and image creation for just being goofy and playing with stuff. So I use it for a lot of things, and I've noticed that when that happens and I have memory turned on, things start to cross paths. So my real estate social media posts start to get D&D things thrown into them. Or it starts to reference back to a specific thing that I said about ADHD, and it starts putting that into my meal prepping. So I have my memories turned off. If you are the type that likes to have them on, that's totally fine. What's really cool is if it starts to get murky and weird, you can come in here and go to Manage Memories, and you can adjust all the things that will be written here. Because if you have your memories turned on, this is where it stores them. It basically treats them like custom instructions that it's building for you. You can come in here and remove lines. You can edit it. You can change the memories of what ChatGPT is referencing if it starts referencing things weird. You can also hit the delete all button. It'll wipe its memory from the cross threads and kind of start you fresh with memories. Side note on this, if you delete all on the managed memories, it does nothing to your threads. Like your chats are fine. It just messes with the memory only. Now, if you did want to delete everything altogether, that's in your data controls. So if you suddenly decide that you feel like AI is going to take over and you don't want them knowing anything about you, that's the delete all button. Just push that button and maybe the robots will save you in the overthrow. Additionally, security. This is a big one. I've been hearing lots of accounts are getting hacked. So setting up the multi-factor authentication is a really good idea if you rely on ChatGPT for a lot of your business stuff. If you save client conversations in here, if you have templates saved in here, if you do anything that you want to be able to reference again and again and again, turn on your multi-factor authentication for security. And what that's going to do is essentially every time I try to log into my ChatGPT from a different device, it sends me a code to my phone that I have to enter in addition to my password. So it's just another step to keep a hacker from getting into my account. So highly recommend that. On that same note, if you also have things that you want to save, you can export your data right here in the data controls. So if you're the type where you are diligent about it and you want to back it up every month, then you have an export button to do so. And then you can save that elsewhere on your computer too. So that's kind of the like behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people miss when they're first setting up their ChatGPT. I also really like, because I have the app on my phone and it talks to my computer one, it's the same account, I can have it send me push notifications. So if I have it doing a task that's going to take a while, I can run the task and back out and go do something else, and then it will send me an alert to say, hey, we're ready, I have the thing you asked for. So you can turn those on or off as well. Big overview of the things that you can do in ChatGPT. Oh, go ahead, Green.
I have a question. Thank you, Kristen. So this is maybe off topic, but not because it's about getting to know you for ChatGPT to get to know you. But I've heard that if it's good if you talk to it through the microphone instead of typing, like once in a while, because it starts to pick up on your subtone. Have you heard that before?
I mean, if you use the voice to voice, maybe, but I doubt it because it's a text processor. I don't think it actually hears anything you're saying.
Okay.
I think the difference is that we type differently than we talk.
Right.
And I think that's it more than anything else, is that your sentence structure when you're speaking to, whether it's ChatGPT or another human, you speak differently than when you type. And especially those of us who are millennials and we were taught to type a certain way and write a certain way, and it's not necessarily how we always speak. So for that purpose, yeah, I think talking to it would be great, because then it's going to get a better sense of how you actually put words together.
Right, and pause. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll give you pause. It'll give you a more casual tone. It'll fill in where you need to. It also tends to get your like, can't even think of the word right now. But yeah, the word is gone. But just like casual tone, basically, right. How you really speak. Yeah.
Thank you.
On that same note too, speaking of like talking to it over and over again, when you have threads that you've ran for a long time, it will adjust accordingly. So like if I have, I don't even know how long this one is. Let's see. Scroll up. No, why are we not scrolling? I don't know. Okay, anyways. So this is a pretty long thread that I've had running with it. And this one is called ChatGPT Prompts for Marketing. So I've been working through this with ChatGPT to help me work on prompts for others, to kind of make like a prompt library. And so I fed it a bunch of stuff and then had a bunch of conversations with it. And now when I go back into it, it already knows all those things. And so it answers accordingly. So the longer you have a thread running, the more information it's going to be able to predict. And actually that brings me to my point that I was going to make, is that ChatGPT is not a magic 8-ball. It's not an all-knowing being. It's great at predicting what the next word or sentence should be. It's also really fast at computing. And so you put those two things together, and that's why we get the speed that we get, and why it sounds kind of like a reflection of you over time, is that it's trying to predict what the next thing that comes in that sentence is to result in a great result that you're going to like. And that's the part that a lot of people don't fully understand, is that it is a computer program. There's no human behind this. There's no big all-seeing sorcerer who's going to give you insight that nobody else has. It's a computer program that's going to only respond back to what you put into it and what it already knows. So that's why I tell people, like, be factual in what you include for it, and try to give context in your prompts. So let's talk about that next. We're gonna talk about what makes a good prompt, because that makes a big difference too. So when we're writing prompts, I like my prompts to follow a pretty simple formula when you're first getting started. So the formula is that you're going to give ChatGPT a job or a role of what it is and who it is. So tell it you are a whatever and give it a role within the context of the question that you're asking. You're also going to give it some background info. You're going to give it a little bit of information of why you're asking what you're asking. You're going to also ask what the output is that you want. Whether that is a paragraph, a bulleted list, a social media post, an analysis, a chart, a graphic, whatever that output looks like, you need to put that in your prompt as well. And then the last thing I always say to adjust is tone. How do you want ChatGPT to respond back to you? If you put it in your custom instructions, you don't necessarily have to say a tone, but if you have a specific goal with what you're working on, sometimes tone matters, and sometimes that's different than what you've got in your custom instructions. So let's create this. We're gonna say you're a real estate expert. I'm going on a listing appointment with a seller who canceled with their first agent. I want you to write me a script for my follow-up text between setting the appointment and meeting them at the house. The best part is that my typing is terrible and ChatGPT still understands it. So it's okay if I spell things wrong. So I told it who it is. It's a real estate expert. What I'm doing, I'm going on a listing appointment. This is the seller who canceled, and now I'm coming in to try and save the day. I want you to write me a script for my follow-up text between setting the appointment and meeting them at the house for the appointment. That's really it. So this is just going to be to stay in communication. I know Jeff Glover talks about a certain number of touches in between setting the appointment and arriving to the appointment. So that way you're continuing that conversation and that rapport, especially if they're interviewing other agents. So let's say that we want, I want 3 texts and a phone call script. The goal is to continue building rapport and find out if they are interviewing others. So the thing I like about using ChatGPT for this is you can create a thread that is strictly for this purpose. You can either say that it is for texting, it is for scripting, or this is your, hey, I'm going in as the second agent. This is going to be my thread for that. And then you can name it whatever you want over here. So if you click on those 3 dots, you can hit rename and call it whatever you want to call it. This can happen in the free account. Everything I've done so far can be done in the free account. The next steps that I'm going to talk about will need to be done in the paid account because that's the only way you get projects. But I want to show you what these text messages look like first, and then we're going to talk about how to put this into a project.
And also, Kristen.
So here's the text messages.
Sorry, one more question, Kristen. So as far as also, not to backtrack, but letting ChatGPT get to know you, because I noticed that one of the things says following your disc. Did you upload your disc profile up to ChatGPT so they could get that? Like, can you talk a little about uploading?
I didn't give it my full report, but I did tell it what my disc says.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can do that too, right?
Instructions. Do what?
But you can upload documents, like any kind of document. Like
you can, yeah. I don't find it necessary because it's not going to reference them every time. Mm-hmm. And so for me, just the short little blurb is enough for it to know what, like, about me. Mm-hmm. So I've told it my disc. I've told it my Enneagram. I've also told it that I have ADHD. So it does a lot for me with my ADHD. So in my custom instructions, it knows all of that. And then it also knows that I'm on a team that how long I've been licensed. It knows that I have kids, that I have dogs. Like it knows all of those things too, and that my life is pretty much just chaos all the time. And then it like helps me, so it's great. But yeah, I recommend telling it really like how do you communicate, because what we're going to do next in this same thread is going to make a difference. And same thing goes with who your client is too. And so that's one of those things that's really cool is that we've got this text template now, but what I want to do is I'm going to tell it, given that I'm a high I and this potential client is likely a high D, based on our conversation, I'm guessing this of course, how can I adjust the verbiage in these texts and phone call to fit their communication style best. And keep in mind that just because we're adjusting how we talk to somebody's personality, you're not still being authentic to yourselves. You are. You're just learning how to speak a little bit different language so that they hear it in their language. And so that's really what this is. So it's going to make these adjustments for me to fit this personality. And so it's telling me in my tone, be decisive, be proactive, avoid over-explaining. Use strategic pauses to let them feel in control. So as a high I tend to talk a lot. I use my hands, I talk up here. It's just who I am. High Ds are going to see that as a weakness. And so I need to slow down. I need to give pause. And I need to let them know that I'm confident in the way that I'm approaching their house. So it just gives me a moment to recognize that and slow my roll.
I like how it has the original and then it says high D adjusted. So you can see the difference and then
so
why it works.
So you can see where that is. The other thing that I've noticed is in doing this, there are a lot of times where I don't need to consult ChatGPT anymore. Like I've written enough of these messages to the different personalities and tweaked them to fit them that I now kind of know how to write in the way that gets them to respond the way I want. So it's a lot of script and role play practice as well when you're doing this. And it really does help you follow that disc. It's an amazing tool for that. I absolutely love it. So let's say that I wanted to move this into a full project. So this is what Corinne was talking about organization. And one of my new favorite things in ChatGPT's paid version is what they call projects. So what these are essentially they're folders that are smart folders. So you can give custom instructions and rules to the folder and then house whatever threads or conversations or chats, whatever you want to call them, into that folder. So given that it's new, this is why I still have this massive backlog from 2 years of threads that needs to be organized. But what's great is you can drag them in to the folder. So if you have the folder set up, you can start dragging old threads into them and sort them. Then when you want to do a new one, so we're going to call this one social media, Instagram. This is going to be solely a project just to create Instagram posts. So what I would do for this is I would add files here that are informative to ChatGPT about what my goals are with my Instagram. These can be things that you write yourself. If you want to write these in Google Doc, you can totally write them up yourself. If you want to go online and find articles to copy paste, you can put those in here. If you've taken trainings and you have books or class materials or anything like that, you can upload those into here, and ChatGPT can follow those instructions. And this applies for any project that you want to start. So obviously, I started this one as social media, but you could also start one for email templates. You could start one just for your operating procedures for your business. You can start one strictly for meal planning. So if you're the type that you like to organize that way by themes, These folders are great for that. And then what's also awesome is because they have their own set of custom instructions, you aren't having to reiterate those over and over again in a new chat. Because those are right here. So this will be the instructions that you would use. So I'm going to show you what mine looks like because I have one running for social media. So this is what it looks like. These are all my random conversations inside the folder. And I have 12 different files I've uploaded. Part of these are from paid classes I've taken, and part of these are copy and paste articles that I've saved to a PDF and then uploaded into ChatGPT. So one of them is Instagram's updates. So it's literally Instagram's guide for creating Instagram posts. I just put it into ChatGPT because I was like, hey, here's their rules. Let's follow them. I also put Athlete, who's a viral content creator. She's done a lot of different articles and blogs and all of those things, so I went through and grabbed a bunch of hers. I also went through KW Ecosphere, Brandon Blankenship. He has a few blog posts that I loved. Copy and pasted those. Patrick Brussel, same thing. Kaylee Hunt. So I went through and I grabbed some KW social media influencers and what they were doing, and I said, cool, I'm gonna put those in here too. So then, in my instructions, it says, this project is to create amazing social media content that drives business and engagement to my Instagram channels. I'll be posting daily on Instagram. I need a mix of reels, carousels, and static posts. Ideal schedules 4 to 5 reels a week, minimum of 1 story a day, blah, 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 blah. Feel free, when we have this recording out, steal this whole thing, guys. Does not bother me one bit. Pause it, copy paste it, put it into your own project, run with it. But what's great about it is now I have this awesome thread that I can pop into, and it knows, I don't know why it's gone. Hi, okay, there we go. It knows my voice, it knows my goals, it knows what I'm trying to do with my social media, and it is actually creating most of my content for me, just with simple things. So like I had this idea to do a video just with text over the top of it. And so I took 2 screenshots, put them in, and I said, hey, here's screenshots of my video. I need a caption. And so then it gave me this great caption. I posted this 2 days ago, and I've already sent out 3 CMAs from it. So this is, I mean, it's nothing, it's not rocket science. It's just, it had a good post, it caught people's attention, and I had a strong call to action. That's it. So just make sure that when you're doing things that it has all the things you need to share. And if you don't like what it says, then just regenerate until it makes you something that you do, or argue with it until it does. So let me find one where I argued. I argue with mine a lot. Like, I'm like, no, I don't like that. Do something else. Oh, right here. I do like the how to know if it's the right time to move idea, so let's keep that, but let's add in that it's summer, not spring, so we can merge those ideas. So I just talk back and forth to my ChatGPT to get what I want out of it, and sometimes it gives me a decent enough, and then I edit in my app. What I've found, though, is that agents who are using AI for social media aren't overthinking it. You're not sitting there spending an hour trying to decide what the next word you're going to post is, or if it's important enough to share it. You're getting in there, you're getting it done, and you're moving on with your day. And what's great too is because it's easy, I'm more consistent at it, and it becomes easier to do it. So I would say if social media is something that you want to focus on, ChatGPT is a great partner for that, rather than hiring it out to somebody else. Additionally, I know there's a lot of arguments right now about this M dash. Just take it out. Put a comma, put a semicolon, put a regular dash, do something else, and then you don't have to worry about anybody having the argument of, well, did they use AI or didn't they? Who cares? You posted content, it probably has value to somebody. Share it and move on. And don't worry about if they think it's AI or not. Just do your thing. But this is the power of projects. So my other one that I have set up is called email templates. I don't have any instructions in here aside from this is for email templates for my business. I'm speaking to clients, cross agents, title officers. My voice is always professional, yet friendly and approachable. That's the only instructions I gave it because I don't know exactly what kind of conversations I'm going to have in here, but I got a lot of them. And so I've been using this project folder to help me with the email templates. So as a solo agent, I know you probably have TCs, at least I hope you do. And so what's great is you can create all these templates, set them up with your TC, and then they'll know when to send them all. And it's going to sound like you. And it's going to be the same process every time for each of your clients, so then you know that they're getting that full 5-star service without you having to redo everything, every single transaction. So highly recommend email templates at the bare minimum. What's great though is if you want to go further than that, you totally can have conversations with ChatGPT about market reports, market stats, anything like that, and then have it help you create that email to your client. So like I have one where it knows my client's disc profile, it has all the comps for my client's house, and I simply pop in and say, hey, it's been 2 weeks, let's send them an update. Here's the bullet points, and then it generates my email for me. So I've saved myself a ton of time just with email templates. Additionally, you can use it for lead intake. So this is going to be where my new, one of my new lead intake things is going to be in ChatGPT. So when I get a new client lead, I want to put it in here and then start to compile essentially like a client profile. So it's going to go into here, and so that way I can then be like, oh, hey, my client is this, they're this, they're this. Hey, what do you think my client meant by that? And you can go back and forth. Anytime you've got a client that's kind of like a hard one to communicate with, you can use ChatGPT to kind of help you read between the lines and really figure things out. So that's a great use for it too. Okay. I'm at 20 minutes and I've checked all 3 things that you mentioned. I want questions. I want interaction. I would love if anybody has something they're working on in their business that I could potentially help with. What you guys got?
Come on, somebody.
Is Tempest part of the free
Robert, do you have,
Is Tempest part of the free chat GPT or is it part of the paid?
the email
I'm
templates?
gonna have to have somebody else repeat that because I can't hear it.
The email templates portion of your presentation, is that part of the free chat GPT or is that something we need to be paying for?
So if you're doing it in the project, it's paid. If, however, you just want to have a chat down here that you call email templates and that's where you keep them, that's what I did before projects were available. And it worked great. I could probably
Yeah, does that make sense?
somewhere
Like,
in here.
just
Yeah.
make it a regular
So-
chat and ask for the email templates.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
any of my long running threads I renamed with capitals. And so this one's actually like a real estate coach. So you could do that too. You could have it act as a coach and give you advice on anything you're stuck on. That one's great. Additionally, you can talk to your chat and go voice to voice. This is the button for that, for voice mode.
How do you get
You
to
can do
that,
it both on
Kristen?
PC and the app.
Sorry, how do you get to that?
Right at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but at the bottom of the chat thing, there's a little thing that looks like a speaker.
Okay.
It's called use voice
Oh, I
mode. So
see.
when you click it, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up with like a circle and it's going to say, well, first it's going to ask if it can use my microphone. So I'm going to say yes. But then what's cool is I'm going to talk to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, hey, ChatGPT, I want to role play with you. I'm a real estate agent headed to a listing appointment. Can you pretend to be the seller and let me have some conversations with you about your motivation and goals? Right now, I know that you are getting ready to sell your house. You're moving to Denver and that you bought your house in 1999. I don't know much else other than that, so feel free to make it up. I'm sure it'll be different than when I actually talk to the seller. Is this a thing you can do?
That sounds like a fun exercise. I'll put myself in the shoes of you're ready to move to Denver. You can ask me questions about
Wow. That's cool.
I have a question.
And scary.
That's one of my favorite ways to role play in the car.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you shut off the memory, but then tell it to record certain things that you upload into it that pertain to your business, and have that remember that?
Yes and no. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I would probably, if we were working together on it, I would ask you what your goal is with it, and where you're trying to go with it. So give me a little more information, and then I'll show you a couple ways you could do it.
Okay, so I wanted to remember certain things about my business that I may upload, different marketing plans, say, but I don't want it to remember that I'm asking for recipes and gardening tips.
Got you. Okay, so the first thing you can do that's really cool is you can use disappearing chats. So if you do have your memory turned on across everything because you want it to remember all your real estate stuff, but maybe you just need a recipe for pork chops real quick and it definitely doesn't need to remember that, you can use a temporary chat. It's going to be the little ghosty thing up in the corner. And this will be in both the app and the desktop version. So whether you're on the website or you're on the app on your phone or your Mac, it's the little ghosty thing. And what's cool is when it's on, it puts a check mark in it so that you know it's on and not remembering. And then, so like I can ask it, give me a recipe for pork chops. I have applesauce. I don't know how to spell applesauce apparently. Pantry items, and a full cabinet of seasonings. So, kind of giving it an idea of like, hey, what do I have on hand? I've got this.
Wow.
Here's a recipe. And then once it's done with that, if I were to click a new chat, or actually if I just click a new chat, it disappears. It's gone. It didn't save over here. It's like it didn't exist. So that's the easiest way to do what you're trying to do. But secondly, you can put things into your customization here that it will remember across everything. So if it's text-based, you put it in here. Upload-wise, you can create in the free version, you could upload, you could probably upload to a thread and then you'd have to do everything in that thread though. Because it's not great at referencing attachments later, unless you tell it to reference that attachment, and even then it tends to make stuff up. So I would be more likely to do a text version of it for it to remember what you're trying to remember. Or put it in a project, which means you have to pay $20 a month. Because if there's something very specific that you're trying to work on, like you want to work on your marketing plan and you need to show it what you've done before, then you almost have to have a project for that. But that's a good use for it. It's great helping you think of other opportunities for marketing that you haven't thought of. It's also fantastic if you are event-based. Here's something really cool you can have ChatGPT do as well. Make me a marketing timeline for my client appreciation event that will happen in October. It's a fall festival at Pumpkin Patch, and we invite our entire database and local community. I want to start planning 6 weeks out from the event. Okay, so I've given it a task basically. I've told it, hey, I want a marketing timeline. Here's some details about it, and here's when I want my timing to start. And so it's going to give you your marketing timeline for what you need to do, which is awesome. So it's now saying, hey, here's your countdown. September 7th, here's the things you need to do. September 14th, here's the things you need to do. September 21st, here's the things you need to do. What's great is then I can say, okay, cool, write email number 1. Awesome, write text number 1. Write email number 3. You can write all of these things out, and then you can set them up in a smart plan. This can all be automated, so you're not having to sit and do this stuff. Then what's great is that you can spend your time making the phone calls, talking to the vendor partners, calling your clients to invite them, or following up if they say, we'll be there. Great. Pick up the phone. Hey, I'm so excited you're coming. You get to do that face-to-face, voice-to-voice thing rather than spend your time writing texts and emails. So yeah,
So
I love
we're-
things like this.
Looks like we're right on time, 2:30. Thank you so much, Kristen. This was fantastic. We really
Truly a
appreciate.
pleasure.
We really appreciate you taking your time to show us all these awesome tools. And is there a contact page that we can put on the screen or anything to contact Kristen directly or to join the? Oh, you were going to put in the chat, or no, you were going to put in.
Already found it.
Yeah, I know, I found it too, but the group, the Facebook group,
I'm going to put the Facebook group in the chat. Oh, it's right there.
and then your
I've already
contact
said it.
info too, Kristen, if we're able to pull that up on the screen.
I will put my contact here right now for y'all. You can take a screenshot or whatever you want to do.
And so if you have any clients in, that are moving to Phoenix, Arizona, or moving out of Phoenix, Arizona, she is your gal in Phoenix and Gilbert, and what are all the areas?
Yeah.
Yes.
My office is in Gilbert, but we do the whole Phoenix metro. So if it's Phoenix, Surprise, Sun City, Gilbert, Chandler, Mesa, I mean, we know there's a lot of cross traffic between San Diego and Phoenix because y'all have the nice weather.
So yeah, she'll take great care of your clients. So.
And we are melting here. But there's my contact info. Feel free, honestly, text me anytime. Find me on Facebook. Find me. You'll get to see lots of random videos of my dogs. So my kids refuse to be on my social media anymore.
That's great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
Take
My
great
pleasure,
care.
truly. And yep, with any questions, just shoot me a message.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you guys. That's it for today.
This one.
What is it?
It was the.
I could hear it.
It's like.
Okay.